All right, PHEV owners, I have a bit of range anxiety when it comes to this car, and we're on a long trip. We're just heading home, and I have a gas station I always use, and I'm like, oh, we can get there. Well, at 70 kilometers left on the range, the fuel light came on, beep, and when we hit 50, I realized that the total cruising range that the car is showing goes blank. It beeps, the car beeps again to remind you, hey, fuel up, and the fuel light is binging or blinking, but you can't see how far you can go. Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen? I was running the engine and charging it at the time, and I had 10 kilometers saved, and I was like, oh God, am I about to run out of gas? I have no idea, because in the next kilometer, we came to a different gas station, and I threw 10 bucks in there. So I'm going to try to figure out at my gas station, I'm going to fill up how many liters were still in the car, and I had been watching it, so I know as soon as it hit 50, it disappeared. Okay, so I stopped at my gas station, I filled up the rest of the tank, it took 37 liters, so there was still 6 liters left in the tank when the distance scale went to blank. So according to my math, we still should have had almost 100 kilometers. If I show you guys what the dash is showing for my average kilometers for this trip, it's 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers. After 580 some kilometers of driving, 6.3 liters. So according to this math and according to my math, why would this show, it was only showing 50 kilometers on there, and when it hit 50 and the fuel light was on, it went to this right here, blank, 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 blank. That is the most retarded thing ever. So the fuel gauge warned us at 70 kilometers reading, and then it warned us again at 50, but at 50, it went to blank. And to me, for a person who has range anxiety, that's the worst thing you can do to a guy like me. Because now I'm driving blind. Do I have 10 kilometers left in the tank? Do I have, 40? What do I have left? That is an oversight by Mitsubishi. You want to know, roughly, within 5 kilometers, how far am I going to go? You don't want to. And according to my math, I still had 100 kilometers worth of driving in the tank at 6.5 liters or whatever I had left. So I guess the bottom line is, don't panic when that thing disappears and it bleeps for the second time. I think you still have roughly close to 100 kilometers, even though the blue gauge on the fuel thing was showing nothing left. It also went to zero when that thing went to zero. So I was like a little bit worried that the computer had miscalculated and said, oh crap, you don't have 50 kilometers left, take everything away from the guy, warn him. And I thought that's what was happening, but upon filling up the tank and realizing I still had almost 6 liters of fuel in there, that's just scare tactics, Mitsubishi. That is just brutal. You shouldn't do that to people. A couple times I've come out in the garage now, and my PHEV is making weird noises. I don't see any lights on the dash, none of the doors are open, it's been sitting here for 24 hours, but listen to this. And it just started doing that, actually. I was working over here in the garage on the bench, and it made the sound like the battery was, when you charge it, you plug it in, it makes that click, 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 click sound. Then it started beeping. Try to show you guys in there on the dash. If you look in the shadow where my hand is, there's no lights on the dash. Let's see what happens when we open the door. It stopped. The car made a clicking noise over there on that side. No idea what's going on there, guys. If you know, leave a comment below. I'd like to know. So another thing to cover, guys, is I had issues before with the charging timer on the car where it doesn't recognize Saturday and Sunday as a day. If you set up charge timing throughout the week and you don't select Saturday and Sunday, which is what I did, thinking, oh, it will just automatically charge when I plug it in, it won't. You have to set up 2 timers if you're going to do that, guys. What you do is you set up your Monday to Friday timing at 7 o'clock in the evening until 7 in the morning, or whatever time your cheap time is. Then you have to go in and set a second timer for Saturday and Sunday, and I'll show you the times that I set for those so that it runs anytime I get out on a Saturday or Sunday and plug the car in, being the weekend. I don't have to press the override timer button to start the car charging. It will automatically just start charging anytime. So there's the 2 timed charging units that I had to set up, guys, Monday through Friday. From 7 o'clock p.m. until 7 o'clock a.m. the next day with a full charge on. Then I had to go back in and pick just Saturday and Sunday and set one up from 12 a.m., so 12 in the morning, until 11:50 p.m. So pretty much any time during the day that you plug it in on Saturday or Sunday, then it will automatically start charging, and you don't have to push the override button, which I often forget to do.